What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. So let's start out a couple of random things that happened. Bill Belichick has interviewed for the University of North Carolina head coaching position. I never thought I would see Bill Belichick throwing his hat in the ring of a college job, college football head coach job. And apparently I just read that he got a second meeting. He's had a second meeting. So apparently Bill Belichick is a candidate for the new UNC head coach opening. They parted ways with Mac Brown last month. And of course, Mac Brown was in his second stint there. He was there a while back. That was with Texas, and he retired. Then he went back to North Carolina, and so he's going. He might get that job. I'm not sure if he's actually trying to get the job. If he's trying to use it as leverage, to try and get an NFL head coach job, but he interviewed for the job, so he's the candidate for it. Like, what do you even ask him if you're if you're UNC? Like, do you even ask him, like, oh, why think you're qualified for this job? It's like, I mean, I won 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. I mean, is that good enough? Like, I won 6 Super Bowls. Like, what else do you want me to say? All he's got to do is this. Like, just show off his hands with the 6 rings. Like, and technically he has 8 rings because he won 2 as a coordinator with the Giants in the 90s before he took the head coach job in New England. So, but that was crazy. That came way out of left field. More coaching stuff. The Chicago Blackhawks have fired Luke Richardson, their head coach. He was in his 3rd season as the team's head coach, which is 5,718-2 as their head coach. Look, when he took over a very bad team. So not all on him by any means. They did have the worst record in the league right now. They're 6-18-2 when they fired him. It's the worst in the league. Look, that team isn't great. However, they made a couple of moves in the offseason. Obviously, you have a young star in the making, Connor Bedard, who was Rookie of the Year last year. We're expecting to be, at least compete for a playoff spot. I thought that's probably about what they're going to do. I did not have them making the playoff. I did think they'd be competitive. I think they were like one of the first 2 or 3 teams out. So, still didn't think they were a good team. I thought that they'd be at least competitive. At this point, they really have been. So, I guess they thought change was needed. But he is out as the head coach for the Blackhawks after 2.25 years in Chicago. And also, I want to talk about Aziz Al-Shahir. That's the linebacker from the Houston Texans that was suspended 3 games for the hit on Trevor Lawrence. Briefly, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, that was Ray Durst." Some people said it was a clean hit. It was Trevor Lawrence with a bad slide. Okay, look, I think 2 things can be true. On one hand, that wasn't a legal hit. Okay, he let of his helmet. He basically formed Trevor Lawrence in the face. Knocked him out, almost knocked him out. He suffered a pretty bad concussion. He just had season-ending shoulder surgery. He's out for the year. It was an illegal hit. He deserved the 15-year penalty. He deserved to be ejected. Normally, I would say the 3 games would be a little harsh. I would probably give him just 1 game. But first of all, I do think this was a suspendable hit. Second of all, this guy's had many instances. A couple years ago when he was in San Francisco, almost after the play, he choked Tom Brady. I'm not a Brady guy. Brady got a lot of calls throughout his career, and he, it was hard to hit him, especially at the back end of his career. But you can't choke a guy out, especially when after the play. He had a couple of hits this year. He had one on Tony Pollard. He was 3 or 4 yards out of bounds, shoved them. So he had another one on somebody else as well. So the guy's has gained a reputation as a dirty player, and Adam Schefter was on, I think it was NFL Live, and he said, reputation matters, and that's kind of in all sport. That's why Draymond Green in the NBA doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, but that's why Vontaze Burfict at the end of his career didn't get the benefit of the doubt. That's why Tom Wilson in the NHL doesn't get the benefit of the doubt when something happens. Reputation matters. He's a guy who's had a lot of illegal hits in the past. Yes, he hasn't been suspended, but you've had a lot of illegal hits in the past, and he had one that almost you could have really, really severely injured Trevor Lawrence. Thankfully, he'll be okay for next season. Thankfully, the lost year anyway, obviously, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I think they probably, honestly, I would be surprised. They probably could have held him out for a month and have him come back and have a surgery after the year. But they're like, we're better off just sitting you down and come back fresh next year the way the year was gone. But that was a legal hit. I will say, that was going back to like two things can be true. That was not a good slide by Trevor Lawrence. By the way, I know like this is more in the NFL. After the whole rule was like, slide feet first. They can't hit you if they do it. It's a personal foul. That's not a smart way to protect yourself. As a quarterback, you have to protect yourself. A lot of these quarterbacks, you're not as big and as strong as these linemen and these linebackers and these even some of these corners and safeties and defensive backs. A lot of these guys, not saying they're out of shape. Obviously, they're still very strong and in shape now, and things like that. They might be 170, 180 pounds, and a linebacker might be 230. They're extremely strong. They're running full speed at you with all that gear on. If you take one in the wrong spot, you're gonna get hurt. Like you're better off just kind of going down. Like both Payton and Eli Manning, like they were like whenever like all right they were about to get sacked and there was no way they could avoid it. They would just duck. And that's how they stayed healthy. Peyton Manning was in the league for like 15 years. The only time he ever got hurt and missed time was his last year in Denver, and he was basically had nothing left. Eli had that crazy streak of started games throughout his whole career. People say, "Oh, it's a cowardly move." No, it's actually smart. It's what keeps you healthy as a franchise quarterback. And so sliding is stupid. I don't know why they teach that in in any level of football. I don't know why that's the rule in the NFL. Blame the NFL for that, but terrible slide by Trevor. Sliding's dumb, but definitely a legal hit by Shahir, and he definitely deserves to be suspended. All right, let's talk MLB free agency. We're still waiting on Juan Soto. I got my Mets polo on, so still waiting. I'm hoping in time to the Mets, but I think it's a good chance, but I don't know. The Boston Red Sox are right there. Apparently, they made a huge offer for him. The Mets have as well. The Yankees obviously are still in the mix to re-sign him. Toronto is in the mix. He's not going to Toronto, by the way. It's down to the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. I don't see him going to the Dodgers. I don't see him playing the whole deferring money game. And I just I know the Dodgers don't care, but you signed Ohtani last year. You just signed Blake Snell for $180 million. You just gave Edman a $74 million extension. They've already deferred $1 billion to 7 guys. So I don't see it. And Toronto, stop. He's not going to Toronto. But hopefully on Monday, I could see it's possible on Monday. I think the winter meetings start Monday. He said he's going to sign before then. So that this weekend, Monday, keep your eyes peeled. When he signs, I'm probably going to do, I might just go live on TikTok at that point or something, because I'm going to have to break that news somehow. I'm not going to do a show over the weekend as per usual, but I will be back on Monday most likely, so hopefully I have some news to break to you guys. But speaking of the Boston Red Sox, they did make a smaller move. They signed Aroldis Chapman a year for $10.7 million. Chapman's been around for a while. This will be his 16th year in the league. Obviously, at the back end of his career, he is going to be 37 years old, but he's still a very solid back of the inning, back of the bullpen guy. He's not going to hit 104 miles an hour and just hit you 40 games like he did at the peak of his career. But ever since that last year bad year with the Yankees, he put together 2 strong years. 2023, he had a 309 between Kansas City and Texas, wins the World Series. Last year, a 379, 68 games, 14 saves for the Pirates, so he was decent. I don't know how much the guy has left, but he's had a great career. He's arguably a Hall of Famer. Probably is a Hall of Famer, considering these numbers. 796 career games, 2.63 career ERA, 335 career saves. He's won a World Series, been an All-Star, I think 7 times, so probably a Hall of Famer. But I think he's still a solid late inning reliever. I'm not sure if he's a lockdown closer anymore. He won't hit 104 anymore, but he still can hit, 97, 98, and is still a solid late inning guy. And Hyun-Sung Kim has been posted to MLB. He's an infielder mainly. He's overseas, I believe, leaving Korea. Yes, he's in South Korea. He's coming to Major League Baseball. Teams have 30 days to sign him. I think till January 5th or something like that. He's emerged as a really good hitter in the KBL. He's a 304 career hitter in over 3,000 at-bats in the KBL. Last year at 326, 11 homers, 75 RBIs. This is his last 4 years there. 285, 7 homers, 61 RBIs. 304, 3 and 66. 318, 4 and 48. 325, 7 and 57. 326, 11 and 75. So, not a ton of power, but he's a great bat-to-ball hitter. Good. He's a good run producer. He gets on base. Now, he's got really good speed, too. 211 career stolen bases. He's been full-time for 7 seasons. He's stolen 30 or more 3 times. He stole 46 in 2021. Has at least 25 steals in 5 straight years, and at least 26 straight, I think over 26 for the last 7 years. So he's got really good speed, really good bat-to-ball hitter, good run because he gets on base. He can play the infield, think second as well as short. So he's coming to Major League Baseball. And the Oakland Athletics make a signing. They signed Luis Severino, 3 years, $67 million. Did not think they had that in them. But it's actually the largest deal in the history of the franchise, $67 million. So I was very surprised that Severino chose the A's. They're a complete mess. Obviously, they've sucked for years. And obviously, they just left Oakland. They're going to play in Sacramento for a few years until their stadium is ready in Las Vegas. That being said, he had a resurgent year after he emerged as a young starter making with the Yankees a few years ago. Had a lot of arm problems, including Tommy John. Made just 7 starts between 2019 and 2021. 2022 with the Yankees. Had a really good year, 3.18 ERA, but only 19 starts. 2023 was dreadful. Injury-plagued year, only 18 starts, 6.65 ERA. His career as a starter looked almost over, but he signed a 1-year deal with the Mets, and he completely rejuvenated his career. 31 starts, 3.91 ERA, 11 and 7, 161 strikeouts, 60 walks, in 182 innings. Look, he's, I think, a solid middle of the rotation starter. He had to make some adjustments last year, so his stuff isn't overly crazy. You know, he will walk guys. You know, his walks per 9 last year was at 3. For his career's at 2.7. Like I said, not crazy stuff anymore. Like, for his career, his strikeouts per 9 is 9.4. It was only 8 last year, which was tied for a career low. It's actually the same as it was in his career worst year, the year before with the Yankees. But, you know, and he's a solid starting pitcher. Solid middle of the rotation guy. A little inconsistent, a little hot cold, but he's the best that the A's probably have. He's probably the ace of that staff. That team is obviously very bad. So overall, solid starting for the A's. I don't want to say Oakland because they're not in Oakland anymore. Why he chose the A's, I guess that maybe is the best offer that he was going to get. They did give him just north of $22 million a year for the next 3 years. So he got a good deal. This is probably the last chance for him to cash out because he's going to be 31 years old. He's had a lot of injuries throughout his career. He's coming off his first time he's pitched a full season and been fully consistent. I mean, was a little bit consistent, like I said, but he had a good year and a full season the first time in years. You know, if he goes out next year and falls back to earth, he's never going to get a multi-year deal for $20+ million ever again. So he had to take advantage. You know, in sports, when being a free agent, it's all about timing. And this was the time. This is probably the only time for him to possibly cash out. You know, he's not from this country. He's from the DR. You know, he's got family support. You know, he's got to take the best deal he could, and so that's what he did. So it was a fun year with him with the Mets. He was great to have around. But I wish him best of luck as a Mets fan. But he signed the Oakland Athletics for 3 years and $67 million. All right, so. Sorry I didn't get to do game picks for Thursday Night Football. I will do that in a little bit. But to start off, let's talk about Thursday Night Football. Lions over the Packers, 34-31. Great game. Dan Campbell, oh my God. It's 4 for the inches. You're well within field goal for Jake Bates, like a 39-yarder, and you go for it with like 43 seconds left in the game. The game tied. You get it. You run the clock down, you kick a 35-yard field goal, you win the game as time expires. That's crazy. Okay, look, normally I would say, either way, that was dangerous. You would have been better off kicking the field goal. You don't want to risk anything, but it's It's Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is just incredible. And also, you need 3 inches. You have the best running back duo in the league. Like, it's not that hard. So Jared Goff fell down on that handoff. That was almost a disaster. But so I gotta be honest. A lot of times in football, going for it on 4th down actually makes more sense. Like, the numbers will say that. I'm not the biggest analytics guy in the world, but every stat and analytic number you can find will say going for it on 4th down, especially if it's like 4th or 5 or shorter, makes more sense. So that actually makes more sense technically, but by the numbers. So Lions pick up a big win there, and we actually have breaking news live on Talkin Sports with Jake. Well, obviously I'm recording this at 2:30. It's a couple hours later after you guys have seen this, but this just broke. So the Rangers originally announced they were benching Jacob Trouba. Of course, he's their captain, but he had a really bad year last year. He hasn't looked good this year. He's overpaid. They tried to trade him in the offseason. It didn't work with the idea they were going to trade or waive him. He has been traded to the Anaheim Ducks. So the Rangers have sent Trouba to the Anaheim Ducks. I do not know the terms quite yet. I'm looking to see if they have been announced. They have not been. I'm not sure if I will get them before the end of today's show. If not, definitely Monday I will get those to you, assuming they are available now. I'm sure they will be. That's the right move. Trouba is massively overpaid at $8 million a year for the next 2 years. No, he's no longer the same leader. He doesn't give you much offensively. He's up the same on the back end, a little bit injury prone, getting older. I know he might be the guy, a lot of the players like him, but he clearly, tried to use his leverage to stay with the Rangers this offseason. Whole thing of his wife or his girlfriend was doing something to, like in medical school here, and she had to do it here, so he used that as a reason. That was kind of a weird kind of situation, but definitely the best thing for both parties is to move on. I think the Rangers are a better team with him not on the ice, especially defensively. And these 2 teams definitely needed a divorce, and they get it. But Jacob Trouba to the Anaheim Ducks. All right. So let's talk about the college football playoff. This is what it is heading into conference championship weekend. Oregon is at 1, the only undefeated team still around. At 2 is Texas. 3 is Penn State. 4 is Notre Dame. 5 is Georgia. 6 is Ohio State. 7 is Tennessee. 8 is SMU. 9 is Indiana. 10 is Boise State. Alabama is 11. Miami is 12. Ole Miss is 13. South Carolina is 14. Arizona State is 15. Iowa State is 16. Clemson's at 17. BYU is at 18. Missouri's at 19. UNLV is at 20. Illinois at 21st. Syracuse at 22nd. Colorado at 23rd. Army at 24th. Memphis is at 25th. Alabama at 11th. I don't like it. I really don't. They probably belong over Miami. That being said, I don't think Ole Miss should be in over them. I mean, I was going to say if they win, they'll be the Big 12 champions. They'll obviously have a top 4 seed. I don't think Clemson should be in over them. Iowa State, again, obviously, if they win, they'll get in. Obviously, if not, they're not going to get in. South Carolina is the interesting one. Look, they're not in the ACC title game. It's tough because I hate that Alabama's in, but I don't see a world where Ole Miss should be in over them. I do agree it should probably be ahead of Miami. It's tough. Maybe you can make the argument Miami should be ahead of them. Look, I am not an Alabama guy. I don't like Alabama as much as the rest of you guys. So, if Arizona State or Iowa State, the loser of the Big 12 title game, I don't think they should get in even if they lose. I do not think BYU should be in. I don't think Clemson should be in if they lose to SMU. South Carolina, that's the one. It's maybe. But it's going to be interesting because looking at it, obviously, the winner of the Big Ten title game between Oregon and Penn State will have a top spot. The winner of Texas and Georgia will have a top spot. Obviously, we're going to have the Big 12 game between Arizona State and Iowa State. They will get in. SMU or Clemson, they will get in. So now you think there's... All right, so now there's 8 other spots. Georgia, I think, if they lose, do they get in? That'll be their third loss. I feel like you're going to have to let them in. If their only losses are to Texas, Alabama, and then they also, I'm pretty sure they're a top team. You beat Tennessee. You're going to have to, you might have to put them in. So if that's one spot, Penn State, I do think will get in, even if they lose, which I do think they will. So Notre Dame is obviously gonna have a spot. That's 3. So there's 5 left. I do think Ohio State gets in. Tennessee should have a spot. Boise will be the group of 5. So that leaves 2 spots available. I think Indiana should get in. I do. So that last spot, honestly, if SMU doesn't, I think SMU should get in. Unless they get if they win, obviously they're in. If Clemson loses, their season is over. It's their 4th loss. They're gonna, I'm sure they'll be ranked. No discussion. But if Clemson wins that game, unless Clemson absolutely blows them out of the water, it's so embarrassing. Like, if they lose 30-27 to Clemson, they should be in. Over both Alabama and Miami. Over both of them, and South Carolina. I don't think it's much of a conversation. Same thing with Ole Miss, and then the loser of the Big 12 and BYU and all of them. So, be very interesting. But we do have some terms for the Jacob Trouba trade. It's exciting we're getting this live. So Dr. Serving Euro, Vakinen, and a 4th rounder, a 4th round pick to the New York Rangers in this trade. I don't know about salary going the other way. I'm just gonna try and see if I can get that to you guys. But Earl Vakinen is now going to be a New York Ranger. We're gonna take a look at the scouting report on him. He's definitely a depth defenseman. He's never played more than the best year of his career was last year. Played 68 games, had a goal, 13 assists, 14 points. Look, Trouba does not have a lot of value by any means. I'm trying to find. Doesn't look like there's the salary stuff has been confirmed. I mean, I do know the Ducks have almost $28 million in cap space, the second most in the NHL, so that's why this works. So, don't know what salary is involved, but it's a Euro Vakinen, who's a depth defenseman, and the 4th round to the Rangers for Jacob Trouba. So, that is betrayed. Let's go to Conference Championship Weekend. We're going to do game picks for Conference Championship Weekend. Let's start games tonight. Mountain West Championship, number 20 UNLV against number 10 Boise State. I'm going to take Boise State. If they lose, that throws a wrench in this whole thing, because then now you're like, oh, but are they still the best group of 5? I think those a huge wrench. I do think they will win. UNLV has had a good year. They're a solid team this year. But Ashton Genty, guy's got over 2,200 yards and 28 touchdowns. He's the Heisman Trophy winner in my eyes. I got Boise winning. And Tulane is number 24 Army in the American Athletic Championship. You know what? I'm gonna take Army. I'm gonna take Army in an upset. I know Tulane's favored, and they might be better suited for more prepared for this game. But the Army, that's a smash mouth team. They run the ball down your throat. They're really good defensively. I am going to take Army in an upset. Come on, Army. And then Saturday's slate, Big 12 Championship. Number 69 we're saying against number 15 Arizona State. I'm going to go with Arizona State. They've done a lot of good things over there. Coach Gillingham's done a great job. Iowa State's kind of under the radar. They've been pretty solid this year as well. But I do think Arizona State will take this one, and they will win the Big 12 Championship. That's at noon. At 4 o'clock, SEC Championship. Number 2, Texas against number 5, Georgia. I'm going to take Texas. Should be a great game. Obviously, you never know what Carson Beck is going to show up. You don't know what Quinn is going to show up by, but that Texas team is loaded. They have a lot of weapons offensively. They have a great defense. Give me the Longhorns in that one. Hook 'em horns. At 8, the Big 10 Championship. Number 3, Penn State against number 1, Oregon. I'm going to take Oregon. By the way, the fact that they're only favored by 3.5 is kind of a crime. I don't think this game is going to be that close, honestly. Dylan Gabriel's had a really good year. The Oregon team's really good. The offense is incredibly talented. Penn State is not that good. They can't beat anybody. It's been that way for years. Give me the Ducks. In the ACC Championship, number 17, Clemson against number 8, SMU. By the way, why are they both on an 8? Also, they should flop that with the Georgia-Texas game. And that game should be on later than the Clemson SMU. I'm going to take SMU. This is an interesting one. Should be a close game. But I think SMU is a very good team. I think they should be in the college football playoff unless something crazy happens in this game. I'm not sold on Clemson. Give me SMU to win this game. All right, game picks for NFL. Let's go. 1 o'clock slate. Jets at Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. This Jets team. I saw someone tweeted out, I guess Shailene Woodley, she's like an actress or a singer or something. Aaron Rodgers was dating her like a year or two ago when he was still in Green Bay. And she just came out and said, like, when she was dating Aaron Rodgers, she was, like, really depressed and lonely and, like, the relationship was toxic. She's at, like, her lowest point of her life. And it said, that's how Jets fans feel with Aaron Rodgers. That's literally how it is. The Dolphins, not great, but good God, especially at home. They're definitely going to beat the New York Jets. I almost picked this game to be that close. Give me the Dolphins. Falcons at the Vikings. Give me the Vikings. The Falcons are just sliding. I don't think Kirk Cousins' return to Minnesota will be that very pleasant for him. The Vikings are really good. That defense is really good. Give me the Vikings. Saints at the Giants. I'm actually going to take the Giants. Like, that team is just cooked. They are done. They are horrible. But the Saints are really bad. Now Taysom Hill's out. Their entire offense is basically out. They can't stop him, but they already fired their coach. In a toilet bowl, give me the Giants. Patriots at the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles. Look, I've heard the word trap game be thrown around with this game. Carolina's looked better recently. Bryce Young has looked better. Saquon Barkley might run for 300 yards on Carolina. Carolina's the worst rush defense in the league. Saquon might run for 300 yards. He's going to go bazooka. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Browns at the Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers. They're playing really well. Offense has been coming along. That defense is absolutely phenomenal. Browns are a fun team, but not a good team. Give me the Steelers. Raiders at the Bucks. You know what? I'm going to take the Raiders in an upset. Look, they are as atrocious as it gets. Bottom 3 in the league, but the Bucks aren't great either. You know, they are not good defensively. Aiden O'Connell honestly didn't play horrible besides that just bonehead mistake at the end. I'll take the Raiders in the massive upset. Jaguars Titans. Yikes. Another toilet bowl. This is just holy yikes. I'm going to take the Titans. Jaguars are just cooked. Getting over Trevor thing. Mac Jones once again playing over there. A lot of injuries. They're bad. This regime's going to get fired. The Titans aren't good either. Will Levis is absolutely horrible. The defense has been struggling, but Tennessee wins an ugly game. 4-5, I got the Seahawks at the Cardinals. I'm going to take Seattle. I like the way they're playing better than Arizona right now. Arizona isn't playing great right now. Seattle's playing much better football. Give me the Seattle Seahawks. That defense is playing a lot better. 425. Bills at the Rams. Give me the Bills. Rams have been kind of up and down. Their defense is really bad. I think Josh Allen has a field day. Give me the Bills. Bears at the Niners. You know what? Give me the Bears. They've been a head coaching change. I think it will spark you like that typical 1 week spark when you change head coaches. 49ers are down to their third string back. A lot of injuries. They are just done. Give me the Bears. Sunday Night Football. Chargers at the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chargers. Chargers are a good team. I know J.K. Dobbins might not play, but I still believe in Gus Edwards. I believe in Jim Harbaugh. That defense is elite. Chiefs obviously have been kind of squeaking by this year. You know, again, look, this is a team. I think this is a great team that could easily be 13-4, 14-3, and be in the Super Bowl. But are they, like a all-time great 16-1 team? I don't think so. So I'll take the Chargers. Monday Night Football, Bengals, Cowboys. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take the Bengals. The Bengals have the worst defense in the league. One of the worst defenses I've ever seen. But Dallas was cooked. I don't want to hear it. They got lucky against the Commanders and with the missed extra point. They beat the freaking Giants on Thanksgiving. Come on. Really? You're 5-7. Cooper Rush is it sucks. You can't stop anybody. You can't run the ball. Joe Burrow's going to have a field day in a high-scoring game. I think the Bengals win this one. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. Have a great weekend. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.